So let's take the situations. First I'll verbally be speaking them out, and then later I'm going to put those values up out over here, or write the examples up. So listen carefully, many of them coming up. 16 cricket players, a squad of 16 cricket players. I have to decide which 11 are going to play today's match. So is it a question of arrangement or is it a question of selection? Let's see. What do I have to do? I have to decide which 11 are going to play. When I say which 11, it simply suggests a team of 11. And a team, it does not matter in which order they come in, so it becomes a question of a selection. However, let me reword it. Same squad of 16 players, I have to submit a batting order of 11 players. Now what is that? Obviously the word itself has made it very clear. I have to submit a batting order. So when we say a batting order of 11 are going to play, not only am I telling which 11 are going to play, but I also have to suggest the order in which they are going to play. Who will appear first, who will come second, who will come third, and so I'm pretty sure you would have identified it as a question of an arrangement. So let me just put down this out over here. So we are saying here a team of 11 out of 16, and here we are saying a batting lineup which suggests the order of 11 out of 16. So I'll just put out of 16 as this way, just to save a little space or so on. Let's say second example. A society has 12 members and I want to select a committee of 3. So there's a society committee. That committee needs to have 3 members and there are 12 members in the society. So in how many ways can I form a committee? Is it a question of selection or is it a question of arrangement? A committee of 3. Committee again is similar to an interpretation or team, and so the order in which the committee is formed does not matter. So a committee of 3 is nothing but a question of selection of 3, let's say out of 12. Fair enough? Similar situation. I'm still using the word committee, but look at the difference. 12 members, in how many ways can you select a committee of 3 such that one is a president, one is a vice president, and one is a treasurer? Now is it just because I've used the word committee, is it a selection question? No, there's an added designation to each position. That's a president, vice president, treasurer. So remember, names have been given to those positions. So there is a president, a vice president, and a treasurer. Or else ask yourself a question: is A, B and C different from B, A and C? Just interchange any one of them and ask, are these two different ways of the committee or the same? Obviously they need to be different. A is the president here and B is the president in the second case. So they are two different ways of forming the committee, and hence this becomes a question of an arrangement. What is it that has made it the arrangement? The name given to the position. So let me put this down out over here. We have a committee, but not just of 3, of president, vice president, treasurer, from 12 people. Some more interesting examples coming up. Pay attention. A urn, third example. Let's say I have an urn and the urn has 15 distinct marbles in it. I put my hand in the urn and I draw out 4 marbles. In how many different ways can I draw out the 4 marbles? Is it a question of selection or arrangement? Same thing. When in doubt, put a case. Okay, I draw out A, B, C and D. Don't put order to it. Don't put brace brackets. Just change the order and say, is this a different way of drawing out marbles? How would I explain the first one? I have drawn out A, B, C, D. What have I drawn out here? B, A, C, D. Remember, I am drawing out simultaneously. So does the order really matter? No. So both of them are identical. Same way of drawing out marbles, and if they are the same way of drawing out marble, it becomes a question of selection. Then how can the wordings be changed to make it a question of permutation or a question of arrangement? Let's see. Let me just write this down first. So we are drawing 4 marbles out of 15, and remember those 15 are distinct marbles, so those conditions are there, and the key word here is simultaneously. Whereas if I do the same thing, I draw out 4 marbles out of that urn having 15, but I do one after the other. So the moment I say one after the other, how would I describe the first way? This I have drawn A first, B second, third drawing C and D. Here first drawing I draw B, second I draw A, right? And do you see the use of word first, second, third? So are there specific positions now? Yes, and they would be 2 different ways of drawing, because here I have drawn A in the first attempt, here I have drawn B, and hence it becomes a question of an arrangement. So if I want to write them, the difference here also you are drawing 4 marbles out of 15 distinct marbles. However, this is one after another. And last example, to make the distinction clear, a little more trickier one. I have 5 scholarships with me and I want to distribute it amongst 20 people. Again, there are conditions. The conditions are one student can get only 1 scholarship. No one can get more than 1. Repeat, 5 scholarships to be distributed amongst 20. In how many different ways can I do it? Is it a question of selection or an arrangement? While a lot of students will get confused out over here, it is also natural. Why? Because the question is not complete. I'll just complete the question and see how quickly your answers will come up. All the 5 scholarships are identical. So all of them, let's say, are a 50% discount, a 50% tuition fees waiver. So the moment all of them are 50% tuition fees waiver, the 5 scholarships goes to A, B, C, D and E. The 5 scholarship goes to B, A, C, D and E. Are they similar? Pretty much, right? Because a way the scholarship could be distributed is different is only when the members would change. The order does not really matter. All of them have got a 50% tuition fees waiver, right? So this becomes a question of selection. So we are distributing 5 identical scholarships. That's the important one. Identical scholarships. Scholarships among 20 people. And one student can get only 1. But the same thing, the moment I say there are 5 distinct scholarships, let's say, amongst 20, so rest all remain same. So we need to distribute. It becomes a question of an arrangement. Why does it become a question of arrangement? Because now scholarships are distinct. Give them values. One is a 100% tuition waiver, one is an 80% tuition waiver. Here itself, A getting 100% tuition waiver, B getting 80 is different from B getting 100% and A getting 80. So I'm pretty sure you understand that it becomes a question of an arrangement out over there, right? Each one can get only 1, or one student can get only maximum 1. So I think things should be clear with respect to what is an arrangement and what is a selection. So now what remains is, how do we go about calculating them? Is there some link between selection and arrangement, and few properties of arrangement? So those are our next agendas. A little bit of terminology. Let me use the current screen also to make you get used to how do we write them. In textbooks, arrangement is referred to as permutation and selection is referred to as combination. So this is where the topic is called permutation and combination, right? We will continue with the usage of arrangement and selection because that is how questions are worded. No one says permute 4 people in 2 chairs or so on. We say just arrange. Another thing is, so we need to arrange R out of N, and the number of ways in which this can be done is denoted or is spoken as NPR. The P is for permutation, and when we want to select R out of N, the number of ways we can do it is spoken as NCR. C stands for the combination bit out over there. So let's use them out over here. Let's use them somewhere there's space. I need to select a committee of 3 out of 12. So this is going to be straight 12 C3. C because it's just a selection. Whereas a committee of president, vice president, treasurer, there are positions. So this is going to be 12 P3, the number of ways in which I can do it. Same, drawing 4 marbles out of 15, one after the other, can be done in 15 P4 ways. Drawing 4 marbles out of 15, drawing them simultaneously, can be done in 15 C4 ways. Distributing 5 identical, since they're identical it's a selection, so the answer while speaking is 20 C5, and here the answer will be 20 P5. Hope you have got the way to speak it out in that case. Now let's see the linkages between them, or how do we calculate.